Welcome to B&B RV. We're at 8101 East 40th Avenue in Denver. Phone number is 303-322-6013. We're going to walk around the Model 24S Citation today. It's built on the Mercedes chassis. Gets about 18 to 24 miles to the gallon. Diesel coach. So on this particular one, to fill up the diesel, you open up the door, and then there's a flap here to access the fuel. Again, it's diesel coach, not a gas coach. Go around the compartments here. This is the propane. The propane is filled for you. It's not a self-serve item, so campgrounds, truck stops, U-Hauls, any place that sells propane can fill that for you. Doesn't come off the coach, it's all mounted to the coach, so you just pull up there and they fill it for you. In this compartment, we've got the blocks for leveling. So when you go to park at the campground, if you're not level, you're going to drive up on these. So if the back, the front, the side, whatever's not level, that's low, pull up on these. There's a level up front so you can see if you need 1 or 2 or 3. Usually 1 or 2 levels is all you need. And this stores right in this compartment. Be careful when you're storing in here with this. That box at the front is a control box for your slide out, so you don't want to bang into that and crack it, pull any wires loose or anything. So just be careful storing things back into this compartment. In here's your electric cable. So when you get to the campground, you're going to undo this cable and plug this in at the campground. So you plug this in, that gives you electricity. Where you plug this in, there's sometimes a breaker there as well. So make sure that breaker is on and you're plugged in. And when you get ready to leave the campground, you're just going to unplug and put that cord back in here. This compartment just houses your generator. You won't need to get in that. That all runs from inside the unit. This is a storage compartment here for you that's underneath a bed inside the coach. So we include some things for you like 4 camp chairs. We have a water hose that's lined so that it doesn't taste like a hose. It's made for potable water for RVs. We have cable for cable TV, some gloves to use for dumping if you wish to use those, and just extra storage for any of your items. This back compartment is all of our water in this unit. So there's a switch here for your water pump in case you need to turn that pump on out here to give you water from onboard tank. This is an outside shower for you if you want to use that. And then this up here is where you connect your water hose. And after you connect the water hose, you'll see these 3 labels. So for normal, filling, or city. So if you're going to hook up to water and just leave your hose hooked up, that's city. Tank is to fill your tank if you're only going to fill your onboard tank, and then put the arrow to normal for normal use. You can also hook a hose to here. That's called a Santa flush. That will rinse out the inside of your black tank. What happens on your black tank is sometimes when you dump that tank, there's little sensors in the side, and toilet paper and such will hang up on those sensors. So after you dump it, it doesn't read empty because there's things hanging up on that sensor. That'll help rinse it out. There's also, we include a bucket of cleaning supplies inside the RV. You can use that bucket full of water to dump down the toilet. Sometimes that'll help as well. Your sewer hose is stored right in here. This is just your storage. So you just pull this all the way out. You bring it out, take this cap off, hook up the hose here and put it down into the drain. And then you're going to pull this front valve right here straight forward. That's your black tank. So dump that black tank first. When you pull that valve, just be careful because right in front of it is the generator exhaust. So if you've been running the generator, that exhaust is going to be hot. Just don't want you to pull that out and hit your hand on that hot exhaust. When that's all done jumping, close that black valve, open the gray valve, pull that straight down. That's soapy waters from your sinks and shower. So that'll kind of rinse that hose out for you. When that's all done, close it. Take your hose off, put the cap back on, and then put your hose back in here. If you're camped at a campground with cable, your cable TV will hook up right here. Otherwise, this is all your water compartment. On the back of the coach, we do have a ladder. We use that to get up and check the roof every time it comes back from a rental. That's nothing for the renter to use unless it's an emergency. If it's an emergency, you need to get up there. Just be careful. That's very slippery when it's wet. It's not a patio or a place to hang out. On this side of the coach, this is just a small compartment for storage. This is where all your water, onboard water is. It's not a compartment that you'll need to get into, but not one that you can use for storage either. And then another storage compartment up front. This is just a no-access little small compartment that is not used on a rental. This has an awning on the outside with the switches inside that I'll show you. You can pull that awning out and sit under that, but if you're out here under the awning, fine. If you're not, if you go anywhere, do not leave that awning out. Make sure you put that awning in anytime you're not sitting here, because the wind will come up and tear that thing off very quickly. So just make sure you put that in if you're not here. Right inside the door, we got a few switches. Let's go in here and I'll show you the inside. Okay. This coach is built on the Mercedes chassis, so it's a diesel engine. You can expect 18 to 24 miles to gallons, what most of our customers get with these. There's a switch here to adjust your mirrors, your windows, lights. Everything's pretty standard as far as the cockpit. Your radio does have a backup camera. Anytime you put it into reverse, this backup camera will come on. It also has side cameras, so anytime you put your blinker on, it will show you on the screen what is right next to you on the left or the right, whichever blinker you've just initiated. This one's a little different as far as transmission in comparison to a gas coach. So I'll start this up here and just show you that. When you pull this thing down into drive, it's going to show you a D here in the display. If you get up into the mountains, this will slow down a little. It has pretty good torque, so going up the hills does pretty well. Coming down the hills, you don't want to have to brake constantly and hold yourself back going down the hill. You want the engine and the transmission to help you do that. So on the gear shift, you can paddle it to the left and it'll shift you down. Goes down to 4 and down to 3 and down to 2. Every time you paddle to the right, it will shift you down. So as you're coming down the mountain, you want to be very careful. You want to use this to help you slow down coming down the mountain, but be careful when you're first shifting down. It will over rev. You don't want to over rev the engine, so keep an eye here on the on your RPMs, on your tach, to make sure that you're not over revving that engine and getting too high. So you may have to use your brakes some when you initially start to slow down and shift this down. Then when you get down to toward the bottom of the mountain, then you can just shift this back up to whatever you were in, all the way up to the D, and then you're fine. You're just back in drive and you're able to just continue your trip. So any hills up and down, that will help you not have to brake. You don't want to brake and get those brakes hot coming down the hill. Everything else up here is pretty standard as far as the cockpit. Up above here, we have another sleeping surface. So you can just pull this down for another bed. There's a ladder up front, clips in here for easier access up to this bed. There is a privacy curtain that just velcros around the front here to block off the front for privacy. There's windows on each side with a curtain, so you can have the curtain up or down. And then that, of course, will just flip up out of the way. There's a charging station here. And then in this compartment, we have a lighter, a fly swatter, and some playing cards that we include. And the main thing in here is the manual. We've created a manual specifically for this unit. So anything and everything about this unit is in this manual. If you have a question, it's in here. So anytime that you need help when you're on the road, you do have this. And that will help answer any questions while you're out. This is called the Dream Dinette. So it has a little handle underneath. What you do is you take this handle and release it, and then this is going to slide down. So these cushions are all removable here. This slides all the way down to these rails. So you push this all the way down. The 4 cushions make a bed. In the morning when you're ready to get back up, you just move the cushions, pull this table up, snap the lever to lock it in place, and now you're ready for breakfast. This front part of this does have storage in it. Back half does not. This is upgraded to a nice stainless steel deep sink, upgraded faucet. The cooktop on these, because we include your lighter up there, because you'll need that to light this, or you can use matches, what do you have? So you're just going to turn this to the light symbol, the little lightning. Hold that, and while you hold that, you're going to light the burner. And then as it's lit, you can turn it up to whatever level you want the flame. You have 2 burners, they both work the same. Below it is your microwave. You need electricity for the microwave. It's a good way to tell if you have electricity because lights will come on in the microwave, but it works just the same as one at home will. The fridge is also all automatic. So you have a freezer on top and the fridge on the bottom. We start these the night before you come to pick up your coach so that everything's ready and cold for you. When it's running on gas like this one is right now, you're going to have an orange light. So when that orange light is on, you're running on gas. If that orange light is flashing, somehow it went out. If it goes out, all you have to do is turn it off, turn it back to auto to have it relight. So just watch for the flashing light. If you plug into electricity or start the generator, you're only going to have the green light. The orange light will go off and you'll only have a green light. So just be aware of that. Only thing to watch for is the flashing orange light on that one. You got wardrobe and storage behind you. In the back here, we've got the bedroom. So on the wall in the bedroom, we have 2 switches. One is for the light, and the other is for the slide mechanism. So you just hit the extend button. We'll extend this out so that we'll have a walk-around queen bed. We upgrade all of these so that that's an upgraded pillow top mattress. In the ceiling back here in the bedroom, we have an exhaust fan. So with that exhaust fan on, it will pull air in from any windows that you have open. So if it's a little warm at night and you want to cool it off, but you don't really need the air conditioner, start that fan and it'll suck in air and cool it off for you. So once that's out, simple as flipping the mattress over. Now you have a walk-around queen bed. You have an exit window there. So if something does happen, you can't get out the front, you can get out the back. We have another TV in the back here on the wall. And then your thermostat for your heat and furnace is here. Now this only has 1 zone. The thermostat allows for more zones, but when you turn this on, you're just going to want to have it on. And either you're going to leave the zone the same, and in the mode you'll change either cool or furnace, whichever you need, air conditioning or heating. And then over here you can just set your temperature. So the only thing that you'll want to do is turn it on, change the mode if you need to change the mode, and adjust temperature. You'll want to leave the zone and the programming and everything as is. This button just changes from Fahrenheit to centigrade. And then again, just press the button to turn off the furnace or the air conditioner, whichever you're using. This has a curtain to separate off the bedroom. So as you're using these curtains, just don't pull down on them, just slide them around and lift them up just a little if you could. Bathroom. In the bathroom we have a toilet that has a foot flush pedal. You just push the pedal to flush. Part way down we'll add water to the toilet, all the way down we'll flush. In the cabinet we're going to have toilet paper and a bag with little chemical pouches. So after you dump your black tank, come in, grab a pouch out of that bag, put that pouch down in the toilet, flush it down with a little water. That will keep it smelling well and help the toilet paper break down a little quicker. So if you need more toilet paper than we've provided while you're on your trip, please use the RV and marine paper. It breaks down and works properly in these systems. If you use a home paper like Quilted Northern or one of those, they tend to get in a big ball and they won't flush out properly. So RV and marine paper you can get at campgrounds, Walmarts, wherever. Well, this has been upgraded to a glass shower door. There's an on and an off on the shower head. We have a bucket of cleaning supplies and a trash can in here for you. And then this one has an instant heat water heater. So your control is right here on the wall. And it can fool you because the red light is always on. So then to turn it on, you press this button and it'll turn on and it'll show you 124 degrees. So just leave the temperature as is and that'll heat up very quickly for you. If you did change the temperature, it's just up and down. We just recommend that you leave it at that temperature. When you want to shut this off, then you just go ahead and turn it off. The red light will still stay on, so just be aware of that. This green light comes on when it's on. But you also have your display light up when it's on. That's the bathroom in the back. This is our 24S model in our Citation, which is on the Mercedes chassis. Thanks for visiting.